here. Let's have a word from Orwell, because he didn't agree with Iain, as it happens. He said this: "It's a strange fact, but it's unquestionably true, that almost any English intellectual will be more ashamed of being caught standing to attention during God Save the King than of stealing from a poor box." And I think I was about 18 when I first read Orwell say that, and I felt a certain sting of self-recognition, because I was definitely a Republican. I still don't think much of the national anthem. I think there were 5 better tunes in the Six Nations. But even before you get to the civic illiteracy of the English thinking the British anthem belongs to them. So I changed that to Jerusalem in a heartbeat. But I've changed my mind about the monarchy. I should be a Republican. I run the Fabian Society. I was growing up on the left. My parents were from India and Ireland. I think everyone's going to be a Republican. I should be, but I can't see why. I can't see why it should happen. I can't see why we should do it. And for this reason, because of the democratic principle of consent. And I think, I feel a bit torn on this. I'd like to read you across this debate. Democratic principle of consent says a very good argument that people might want to choose a head of state. So let's find out if they want to or not. We can have a republic when people want one, and we won't have one until they do. And the interesting thing about republicanism in this country is it's got a very good claim to be the greatest failure of any political project in my lifetime. 40 years ago, 19% of people wanted to get rid of the monarchy. When Charles married Diana, 19% of people wanted to get rid of the monarchy. 30 years in which every single thing that could have gone wrong did go wrong. 19% of people want to get rid of the monarchy. It's slipping slightly this week, but it might just be the royal wedding. So it's been not an inch. So republicanism, of course, it should have a voice. There are probably about 8 million people who are Republicans in this country, and there are 30 million people who aren't. And the Republicans can have the republic as soon as they persuade people to want one. Should they want one? Why haven't they listened to the argument? I can't myself think of any political project in this country that is seriously impeded by having a monarchy. It's said to be a great symbol of class and privilege, and maybe it is. Sometimes it's said to be a great symbol against the reaches of the market. It's not doing that very well, I have to admit. But it didn't stop the National Health Service, and whatever's stopping Britain being as equal as Sweden, as myself and Polly Toynbee, Richard Wilkinson and everyone else would want, can't be the monarchy, can it? And Sweden is an egalitarian country with a constitutional monarchy. My debating partner, probably of a more ardent monarchist for framing this evening, probably thinks we lost our sovereignty to the European Union. The monarchy didn't stop it, it just gave a royal assent to the bill. If we wanted to get out, we would do that as well. Scotland wants devolution, we have it. Scotland wants independence, we have it. So I can't see any project other than having an elected head of state itself that is actually tied up in having an elected head of state. So I think maybe Republicans, although they have a right to a voice in this debate and need to win it, need to think more carefully, I think, about why people have not been persuaded and don't see what the positive argument is. And I think the reason is this, that it's an offer to take away something that's distinctive and about the history of this society and turn it into something that's a bit more like everyone else, without giving things that everyone wants. So I say we should celebrate the monarchy. Ethnic minority people in this country are actually more pro-monarchy than the white population, so they tend to be more conservative in these ways. But maybe that's because it's a symbol that everything we're proud of in this country is actually a product of immigration and integration. The sturdy old House of Windsor, built up by the Germans, and Prince Albert, Prince Philip, came to this country, got put in a palace, got the state losing and everything. But I say that he contributed. Yeah, he contributed to this country. So I think the monarchy is part of who we are. We shouldn't take away something that people want unless they want us to do so. They don't now. When you win that argument, you can have your republic.